Why the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 is better than the iPad Pro, coming up right now. Let's go. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. In this video, I'm going to explain to you why the Galaxy Note 9 is actually a better computer, or more productive than the iPad Pro. Now, I bought this iPad Pro with the intentions of it replacing a laptop, and that's why I want to go ahead and share my experience here. I actually got rid of my MacBook Pro, and I'm considering getting another one just because this is not going to work out for me at this current time. Now, I want you to know that I'm not an iPad hater. I have the last year's iPad Pro 10.5. I have the 2018 model as well, the $329, the cheap model of the iPad as well. So I definitely don't hate the iPad. I love what it does for what it does. But when Apple markets this thing as a true powerhouse, powerful than more PCs on the market and blah, 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 the most, powerful thing ever, but then you get it in your house, you get it in your studio, you get it in your workspace, and it just really doesn't do the job that you need it to do, that's when we have an issue. So let me talk about why this phone is actually more powerful in terms of productivity, or taking advantage of its power, than the iPad Pro. The iPad Pro will blow away the Note 9 when it comes to benchmarks, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about actually taking advantage of what it has on offer. Okay, so the first one is going to be mouse support. Do you see this MX Master mouse right here? It's a Bluetooth mouse, and it's connected to the Galaxy Note 9. So I'm holding this phone in my hand, and I have mouse support. So check this out. I can go through applications with the mouse just like I would with my finger. Now, this can come in super handy when you guys are, doing things that need more precise control, specifically if you're doing something like video editing. And you can even type and swipe with this too. So let's go to video editing right here, and we'll go ahead and click this right here. And you can see if you get something like Power Director for your device here, you can go ahead and get more precise control over that device. So the Note 9 is definitely something that has very precise control, especially if you plug in a Bluetooth mouse, or you could even plug in a USB mouse. You'll have to do it through a USB-C adapter, but you can still do it. So true mouse support there for the Note 9. Now, the Apple Pencil is a great pencil for the iPad. It's super accurate, very nice, responsiveness. It's super quick. But at the same time, this is more akin to the S Pen that you see on the Galaxy Note 9. So this S Pen right here is very similar to the Apple Pencil when it comes to controlling the device. However, the Apple Pencil is a much more accurate response time when it comes to drawing and sketching and stuff like that. So I'm not going to say the S Pen is like better than the Apple Pencil. I'm just saying it does the same kind of controlling the device functions that you can do on the iPad, because we're talking about control here with mouses and stuff like that. Okay, so the next one is split screen multitasking. So for the Galaxy Note 9, I can actually split more apps and have more things running at the same time, even though it's a smaller screen than the iPad. So let me go to Calendar, for example, and say I want to go to Calendar and I want to browse something on the internet at the same time. So let me go to Safari and drag this over here. Let me pull my dock back up, and let me go over here. I'm going to the Nick Ackerman channel right now. So we can split the application, and if I put in landscape, it would be a little bit better looking, but I'm doing it for the sake of the video here. You can see you can have two apps at once, and you can bring this application out of there. You can swipe away, and there's more you can bring in here, the certain supported apps that do split screen. Now with the Galaxy Note 9, there's so many applications you could split screen, and yes, you can kind of do a little bit more with it. So if I split here, I go to the app list, look at all of this support here for a split screen. Now, not every single application does work, but it seems like there's a lot more than you could split on the iPad over there. So let me go ahead and open up another calculator. Let's say we're doing some businesses. We need two calculators at the same time. You can flip them around, and even so, you're still not done. We can go ahead and let's close this out really quickly here. Let's close this out. So let's say we need to go on the internet for something. We can go ahead and just pop view the Samsung internet and go back to our multitasking here with the calculators, our app pair. And you can see there's 3 applications at one time, and it doesn't end there. You can actually put more of them. You can resize these applications, move them around. Now, yes, it can get a little inefficient at times because this is really small screen to do all this, but the fact is, if you need it, you can do it. You can also minimize this window bring a little pop over here, and just stay productive. You can stay in your 2 applications, and when you need it, just pop it right back there, just like so. So this phone can do some true multitasking way more closer than a computer or a laptop than this one can, with its just kind of 2 split screens on one screen at a time. You could have 2 side by side, which can be enough for most people. But if you really want to get that precise control, the Note 9 is still better at multitasking than the iPad Pro. Okay, so we've shown that the multitasking could be a little bit more robust on the Note 9. Well, the screen's too small. Well, you can change the DPI settings here on the Note 9. It does get a little bit smaller, but you have more space to move those applications around, and you could simply change them back when you're done. Go into developer options, change your width to about 700 or so, and it's still small enough where you can see it really tiny. But now you've basically turned your Note 9 into a little mini Samsung tablet. And now let's say we want to split that screen again. And let's go to, how about we go back to the internet and we do a pop view window. Now you have much more space to move your applications around. So there's an application right there. Let's go ahead and open up now. How about the calculator, the regular calculator? And we're going to pop view right here. Now look at the space you have to put your applications wherever you would like. So DPI settings can be changed, making it a much more desktop-like experience. Let's go ahead and turn on auto rotate, turn it sideways, and now you have space in landscape, and the apps do move in landscape. So this can feel like a little mini tablet as well. Apple actually took off the landscape mode on the XS Max. So the Note 9, a much more productive experience here. And there's our pop views right there. We can bring them right back up. So that is amazing to me for a smartphone. The next reason is the Galaxy Note 9 can be had with the same amount of storage, significantly cheaper than the iPad Pro. So to get 1 terabyte of the same type of storage, is very fast storage on the Note 9 as well. In the iPad, you're gonna pay over $2,000 with taxes, and that's in the US. If you're in other countries, it's gonna be even more. Okay, so the next one is a headphone jack. Now I know a lot of people say, come on man, with this headphone jack stuff, get with it, get with the times. There's no more headphone jacks on products no more. That's the way it's going. I get that. But what you don't get is Apple's still putting headphone jacks on the MacBook Pro. People buy headphones that are like $500 that are super high quality and they have the best audio for professionals through a headphone jack. That's what you're not understanding, is the people that actually are buying these high-end products typically use headphone jacks in their MacBooks, and they want to come to their mobile products and stick the headphone jack into their mobile products. And having this here for the Note 9 is an advantage, because you can be working on your MacBook Pro, go over to your Note 9 and put your headphone jack right in there, and then you're good to go and, you know, watch your video file or whatever you're doing there. So yeah, having a headphone jack I think is still a better thing on the Galaxy Note 9 than on the iPad Pro. They both have dual speakers as well, so they're both very loud for their sizes. So the next one is the superior OLED screen on the Galaxy Note 9. While this one is much larger, and I do prefer it to watching movies and browsing the web just because of the size alone, the actual display quality is better on the Note 9 than the iPad Pro 12.9, but I could only imagine the price of the iPad Pro 12.9 with an OLED screen at that size. But I know it could be done because OLED bends. It could probably even come even further to the edge than this one with OLED. Now you can see right here, you can prop it up on a little Samsung rugged case like this, link down below in the description, and then you can watch a movie right here on the Note 9. Yes, not as enjoyable as this big iPad, and definitely that's a win for the iPad, but the screen itself is actually a higher quality panel than the one on the iPad Pro. So the next one is the S Pen is actually more productive than the Apple Pencil, and it comes with the phone. You don't have to buy it extra for $100-something, so that's a added bonus. Just buying a Note gets you the pencil. Or the S Pen. Imagine if Samsung charged for the S Pen. Probably nobody would buy it then. Comes right in the phone. Pull it out and look at all this software that's right there. You can create a note, view all notes. You can smart select. You have coloring on here. You have a whole pen up community where artists, you know, make little drawings on their phones and they comment on others' drawings and rate them and all that good stuff. And you can add more shortcuts to this. Also, if the screen is off, you can do some quick notes. Now, Apple did add instant notes with the iPad, but you can go ahead and say, hey, you can start writing here on the lock screen. So there's a lot of control with the Galaxy Note 9's S Pen right out of the box. It doesn't really need to download extra software for somebody to start using it and enjoying this S Pen. Also, you can use this button to go ahead and take photos with the Note 9. I think the Note 9 right out of the box is pretty awesome because it gives you many things you can do with it without having to download anything. Now with the Apple Pencil, it has much more fine-tuned control than the Note 9. So if you are an artist and accuracy is your thing, so if you're drawing hearts, for example, or you're drawing a tree, for example, accuracy is your thing. This iPad with the Apple Pencil is definitely much more accurate. I would not use the Note 9 for sketching. If you're a designer, stuff like that, go with the Apple Pencil. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that if you get the Apple Pencil, you're gonna have to download some software that definitely takes advantage of the Apple Pencil, like a sketching app, for example. So that's it. I'm gonna end it here because this video can keep going and going, but I do wanna mention that with a Galaxy Note 9, you get Samsung DeX, which allows you to plug this to a monitor. I've already used it and it works just like a kind of like a laptop or a desktop will work. It is limited in functionality compared to those, but still I find that the Galaxy Note 9 is better than a 2018 iPad Pro when it comes to productivity, even though it's a much smaller screen. And if there's any phone on the market you can compare to a tablet, this is the one to do it with. This phone ran me $1249, something like that. And this one right here ran me about $1149. The Apple Pencil brought it up quite a bit as well. So overall, my use with the iPad has been a little bit disappointing because I bought it to kind of replace a laptop and it's not working out still. I tried it with the 10.5, thought going to the bigger screen I could try to make the software work. It's still not there for the content creator or the person who wants to really use pro-based applications that involve mostly video editing and photo editing because of the transferring. If you're an artist, there's plenty of apps to take advantage. You can save your sketches, things like that, send them off in emails to your clients, stuff like that. But when it comes to people who are video editing or photo editing, this is still a bottleneck here for the iPad, especially if you're not using like a MacBook or an iPhone where you can airdrop. If you're just using this as your main computer, you're going to run into some issues specifically when it comes to transferring things. That's the big thing here. And that's really what I want to see. I want to see a operating system that's for the iPad specifically, different than the iPhone. Now, yes, the dock is here. That's a little bit different. The split screening is a little bit different, but it's still just minor tweaks to the iPhone experience. It still feels like a blown up iPhone basically. But I still love this iPad as an iPad, but being marketed as a laptop replacement, it is definitely there, I think, if you're a lighter user. But if you really rely on SD cards, transferring things, stuff like that, the pro aspect, I don't think it's fully pro just yet. If you guys found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, enjoying, do me a favor, click that like button for me. If you disagree with me saying, what are you doing, Nick? You have lost your stuff comparing a phone to a tablet. That's cool too. I don't care. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Just let me know what you think about the iPad Pro 2018, its productivity aspects versus even a smartphone like the Galaxy Note 9. Or you can just leave your take on either one of them. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you all in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to be well and peace.